This one is from Michael Keefe talking about the beast from the East, the Kemba flop. I mean, there's some, we got some revenge here in this game tonight for what happened 10 years ago.
You're referencing the word payback. Yeah. Talking about UConn beating San Diego State, Kemba Walker's drive, the hit, Jamal Franklin taking the technical foul. Did Kemba flop? Was he run over, et cetera, et cetera? But, the Aztecs had never been that deep in the tournament, so it's a learning curve. They're a lot deeper playing in this game tonight. Yeah, we haven't forgotten UConn, but I don't think that era has anything to do with what we're going to see tonight. Aztecs, Huskies.
Yeah, I just think it's great, but there's just all these storylines, for this game. So, I mean, the Aztecs, man, have a great opportunity in front of them. Here, let's go back here. We got another comment here on the fans forum in today's live stream. Hacksaw, this is from C20 Moreno. Hacksaw, please put in perspective this Aztecs run this year and what an NCAA title will mean for this program and for San Diego. Thank you.
Well, I concur with you, CT. You look at the growth of the program and you take it in steps. I recall back all the years I've been up on the Hill covering the games. I broadcast Aztec football and basketball for a brief period of time when they were on our stations. Going to press conferences and where they were when they started in dark, dank Peterson Gym, and then the empty San Diego Sports Arena when nobody would come, and then obviously what Cox Arena Viejas has now become. And I remember the excitement the first time under Steve Fisher they got to go to a tournament. They got an NIT invite. And I remember talking to Steve about going to the Mecca. I mean, I'm an East Coast guy. I grew up on Long Island. I went to Madison Square Garden. And I said, do your players realize where they're going to play? And he said, no, they're too young. They don't really know the history of college basketball. Its birthplace was New York. Mm-hmm. Way back in the 40s and 50s, college basketball was bigger than a lot of things. And its birthplace was at Madison Square Garden with the NIT, which initially was a championship game. So they said, we're going to grow through this. We're going to learn from it. But I remember, we're going to the NIT. Well, the NIT is no longer what it used to be because of March Madness's expansion to a field of 64 or 68. But they've really grown. For them to do this sends a message to the whole country. And I'm sure it opens up a lot more recruiting doors for Brian Dutcher. Now, whether this is the catalyst and the jumping off point to go be a member of the Pac-12, I think it is. And now granted, the rest of the athletic program, including football, has to get up and running to be able to compete at that next level. But what they've built at San Diego State, I think, allows them to be a legitimate Pac-12 team going forward. And if they could raise a trophy tonight, wow.
I keep thinking about the banners. And originally I was thinking, hey, another Sweet 16 banner. And now it's an Elite 8 banner. Now it's either a national championship or runner-up banner at Viejas. That's going to be great. Well, I remember back in, it was either 02 or 03 when Fisher brought him to the NCAA for the first time, and they faced Illinois. And those guys were big. And we understood that we were like, it was a whole different tier of basketball back then. But this slow build, the way they've kind of built this program, I mean, it's just remarkable. Yeah, to your point, I think, this helps them get positioned into the Pac-12 or maybe the Big 12. And at minimum, they should start talking about the Aztecs in the same breath that they talk about Gonzaga, as a non-major, but still a legit program.
Concur. I mean, the basketball powers on the West Coast now are UCLA because of its history and legacy, Gonzaga because of its modern-day accomplishments under Mark Few. Move over. San Diego State has just joined that conversation line. Next question. So this is from George Van Valkenburg, and he says, we believe we will win. Go 2022-23 basketball Final Four Aztecs. I've waited over 60 years. I love old Peterson Gym. That is where the great Aztec Tony Gwynn played. He's one of the legends leading up to now, class of 1965. George, they've grown this thing. This thing is electric. This thing is now a fabric of the community. And I thought about this morning. You think back to our community, and our community was small market San Diego. And our community was, we have a baseball team, and the Padres got to the World Series twice. And then the Chargers grasped the community in 1995 by actually going to the Super Bowl. And now look at where the Aztecs are. So it's a tremendous accomplishment for our community. And who would have ever thought we'd have the day when you and I'd be sitting here doing a bonus podcast and talking about San Diego being a basketball city. A
Mhm.
basketball city. This is the city that had the Clippers and Donald Sterling and lost the NBA, and they had never supported anything in college basketball, and now it's the place to be, the in thing.
Yeah, it's incredible. I mean, Dutcher talks about how San Diego San Diego State basketball is like the second pro team after the Padres. That's a fair point. But it's just an incredible run here. I mean, to me, the Aztecs making the Final Four, much less the national championship game, is more improbable than the Padres making the World Series. I mean, this is just in a remarkable thing. So, wow, what a day! What a
Once in a lifetime opportunity
yeah.
experience for these kids, that program, and for all the fans that are wearing red and black. Everybody is an Aztec fan today. I firmly believe that.
Yeah, I think it's just great. Let's go back to some more YouTube comments. This is about the no blue bloods, and whether it's going to affect the ratings. And Don Black says the problem is that many fans tune in to watch NBA level talent or their blue blood team. And since that seems to make up most of the country, this Final Four seems destined for low ratings. Hopefully, I'm wrong.
Well, I think you're probably correct. UConn, even though it's got that history in the Calhoun era, and San Diego State has no national history at all. So therefore, I don't think it will be as big a TV draw. But at this point in time, who cares? San Diego State is where they've never been before, and a chance to take the step where maybe it'll be forever before they ever get this chance to do this again. But this is just a tremendous accomplishment. I don't get caught up too much in the TV ratings. I get caught up in the quality of the event. How electric is it to watch, the finish line, etc. And also, we're saying farewell to Jim Nantz, who's stepping aside as one of the great broadcasters of all time on NCAA tournament basketball. So I won't worry if their TV number is less than the women, because I do think the LSU victory over Iowa will propel TV ratings to an all-time high for women's basketball. And on this one odd occasion, it may well be that they surpass what the men's game is going to do. But March Madness is about history. March Madness is about the Indiana Hoosiers, and March Madness is about Kentucky, and March Madness is about great runs by so many other programs and coaches, and the Cinderella teams that have gotten to the Final Four. And in this unique case, Aztec basketball, a Cinderella team playing Championship Monday.
Well, it's East Coast, West Coast. I mean, there's a lot of things that line up for this. But remember, about 8, 9 years ago, Butler was in the finals, and that was exciting, for them as a mid-major. So it'd be great to see this to be just another classic game. I don't want to see a 10+ point blowout. Love to have it come down to a final shot by Lamont Butler. How about that?
As long as the Aztecs are playing defense, there's a chance there'll be another hero who will surface against UConn. And I guarantee you, John, UConn's going to face something tonight when they have the basketball that they have not faced all year. 40 minutes of hell on defense, courtesy San Diego State.
Yeah, right on. I mean, there's so much enthusiasm in the community. This is from Kevin McCarthy. And he says, and he was talking, this is the preview for the FAU game. And he says, I am so pumped for this game, baby. Class of 2003 right here. Lived on 55th Street. Watched plenty of games at Viejas. I love this national hype we're getting. This program has been steady grinding for so long.
Only phrase that just popped to the front of my mind, Dick Vitale. It's awesome, baby. That's going to be great. Hey, thanks for being with us.